Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is WAFIY YUSOF. My metric number is F25A1743. Today I want to talk about the gap between pure mathematics and national food security, specifically looking at the rice yield security in the Kedah Plains, the rice bowl of Malaysia. To secure our rice supply, agronomists rely on modern, high yields crop varieties like Oriza Setovai variety MR297, developed by Marty. This crop follow a distinct side model or S-shaped growth curve. However, looking at cumulative growth alone doesn't tell us when the plant is growing most aggressively. To maximize stash yield and optimize resource management under changing climates, we must apply a different calculus. To bring our mathematical framework, logistic crop kinetic, we model the cumulative height of paddy over the time using a standard logistic side model equation. You can look at number one, mathematical model, paddy head function. Here, L represent the carrying capacity or maximum height, typically around 110 centimeter for MR297. The variable K is the growth scale factor affected by climate, and as X0 is our inflection point. By applying chain rule and quotient rule, we derive the first derivative. You can see at number 2, daily growth rate, first derivative. This derivative is the core of our analysis. Its output, the instantaneous growth rate in centimeter per day. Instead of looking at past history, Fx at like a live speedometer telling us exactly how fast cellular stem elongation is happening on any given day after transplanting. Let's look at the diagnostic from our stimulated optimal season. At the mathematical inflection point, which occurs precisely at 45 days after transplanting. The crop is absolute peak metabolic speed. At the 45, the paddy height Fx is exactly 55 centimeter. This is half of its maximum capacity. More importantly, the derivative Fx peak at the astonishing 2.48 centimeter per day. This mathematical peak triggers a critical real-world agronomic field action because the plant metabolic engine is working at full throttle. This is the exact window where we must synchronize our second nitrogen top dressing split, such as urea, applying fertilizer right before at this peak, ensure maximum nutrient absorption, minimal leaching loss into farmers. In conclusion, analyzing the derivative change how we manage food system. First, it serves as an early warning diagnostic tool if environmental stress like drought or nutrient starvation occurs. The derivative drop immediately, allowing us to intervene before the total yield collapse. Second, when the derivative start to decay towards zero, it signals a phase shift where the plants stop growing taller and begin portioning starch into grain production. Telling managers exactly when they adjust irrigation. By sensing calculus with agriculture protocol, we can transform mathematical theory into guaranteed food security for Malaysia. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, a very good day to everyone. My name is AMALINA HIDAYAH binti ABDULLAH. My number matric is F25A 1952 and I am a student in the Food Security Program. Today, I am very excited to share my research project with you all, titled Paddy Growth, Dynamics and Derivative for Malaysian Food Security. As someone passionate about ensuring sustainable food systems, I wanted to bridge the gap between advanced mathematical modeling and real-world agricultural practices. To do this, I built an interactive web application that applies calculus, specifically derivative, to stimulate and analyze the growth life cycle of the MR297 rice variety, which is one of the most critical rice varieties grown in Kedah, Malaysia's rice bowl. Alright, let's dive into the core bioscience problem. Rice is the absolute cornerstone of Malaysia's national food security. However, meeting our self-sufficiency targets is a constant challenge due to challenging climates and resource constraints. To maximize crop yields, agronomists at Malaysian Agricultural Research and Development Institute, MARDI and MADA, closely monitor how rice plants develop. The biological problem here is resource optimization. Traditionally, farmers apply fertilizers based on broad, generalized timelines. But rice plants have highly specific metabolic windows. If we track the plant's height over time as a function, over here, we can use its first derivative. However, the second one over here, it is to find the exact daily growth rate. The peak of this derivative tells us exactly when the plant is experiencing its highest metabolic stage. Knowing this precise moment is crucial for pinpointing when the crop needs nutrients the most. Okay, now I'm gonna demonstrate how this simulator works in real time. We are modeling a standard 115-day cycle of the MR297 paddy variety using a logistic growth function. Alright, now let's go to the day 0 over here. At day 0, the crop is just being transplanted. Okay, we should see over here. As you can see from the live calculus diagnostics, the height is minimal. And the growth rate is very close to 0. Biologically, the plant is just establishing its roots, so vertical growth is slow. Okay, next, we're going to move to the day 55. This is the mathematical inflection point of our logistic curve. The height is exactly 55 cm, but look at the derivative, the growth rate hits its absolute maximum at 2.2 cm per day. Biologically, the crop is in its active elongation morphological state. This is the exact golden window for agronomists. This peak derivative tells us that the plant's metabolism is at its highest, meaning this is the optimal day to apply urea fertilizer for maximum yield absorption. Okay, the final one, okay, day 115. As we approach the harvest, the plant reached its maximum structural height of around 110. But notice the derivative, the growth rate has dropped back down significantly. Biologically, the plant has shifted its energy away from the vertical growth and into grain filling and maturation. The calculus perfectly mirrors the plant's life cycle. Why is studying this is important? It directly impacts both of our economy and the environment through the precision agriculture. By using the first derivative to determine the maximum growth rate, we can execute precision timing for your fertilizer application. If farmer apply fertilizer too early or too late, the plant cannot absorb it efficiently. This leads to two major problems. The first one is wasted money for the farmers, and the second one is agricultural runoff, where excess nitrogen washes into local water systems, causing environmental pollution. By modeling this growth dynamics mathematically, we can maximize crop yields, protect our waterways, and directly strengthen Malaysia's food security framework. While this HTML web app is fully functional and interactive, I have one major recommendation to make it even better for future deployment. Currently, the app relies heavily on the user manually moving the slider or clicking the chart to read the text in the agronomist interpreter box. It's over here. To make this tool more accessible to actual farmers and agricultural extension officers in the field, I recommend implementing dynamic visual alert badges that change color based on the derivative value. For example, when the derivative is low, a neutral badge appears. When the simulation hits the peak window around day 50 to 60, a bright green flashing badge saying optimal fertilizer window could automatically pop up. This will instantly translate the complex calculus to a direct, actionable instruction for users who are not trained in mathematics. In conclusion, this stimulator proves that calculus isn't just an abstract classroom concept, it is also a powerful tool that can help optimize food production and secure our future supply. Thank you very much, and that's all from me.
Good day to the panel. My name is Muhammad NAZMI. My metric number F25A1774. Today, I will present the MD2 Pineapple Sugar Calculus Simulator. This tool uses mathematics and calculus to track and predict how sugar accumulates in Malaysia premium MD2 pineapple before they are harvested. First, let's look at the biological problem behind this project. The main challenge in the pineapple industry is knowing the exact time to harvest based on sweetness, which is measured in degrees Brix. To meet export standard, MD2 pineapple must reach 12 to 40 Brix. However, sugar does not grow linearly. It follows an S-shape, is sinusoidal curve. If farm harvest too early, the fruit is sold and rejected. If they miss the peak grow windows, they cannot apply fertilizer at the right time to maximize sugar quality. This is exactly why studying this problem is so important. By using the first derivative, this is fx, this simulator calculate the instantaneous rate of sugar synthesis. This is highly important because first is a predict prices harvest dates, eliminating visual guesswork. Two is identify the inflation point, the exact week the plant work hardest to make sugar, which is the best time for fertilized applications. And lastly, it maximize export yield and reduce field waste. Now, let me show you how this works directly on the simulator. Here, the TSS is low for until 5 rate, and the grow rate FS is near 0. The fruit is just starting to develop, so sugar has not formed yet. This is the critical phase. The rate of sugar synthesis peak here at is a higher speed. This is the golden window for farmer to add nutrients. And the saturation phase 18 and above. Finally, at the end of the curve, the TSS reaches a maximum of 12 until 40 bricks. The growth rate dropped back to zero, meaning the fruit is a fully matured and ready for harvest. To push this technology further, I have one recommendation for improvement. The improve this HTML application. I recommend adding a dynamic slider for weather variable like temperature and rainfall. Right now, the tool only use fixed presets. Adding an interactive slider would allow farm to input live weather data and see instantly how rain or heat wave change the sugar. Highly practical for actual field use. In conclusion, this simulator proves that calculus is a powerful tool for smart farming. By tracking the derivative of growth, we can secure better yield. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. My name is NUUR. My matric number is F25A1789. Today, I'm going to share with my project that bridge the gap between biological system and data-driven agriculture, the agro-biotech dividend simulation. As we look for a way to optimize subsistence food product and agriculture efficiency, mathematical modeling become one of our most powerful tools. In this presentation, I will walk you through how we can use calculus, specifically biological remedies to preparation predict and maximize oil in one of Malaysia's most vital crop, the oil palm. Let's dive into the core bioscience problem we are addressing in oil palm processing. Know exactly when to harvest in a multi-million dollars question. Inside the fruit of the oil palm, lipid synthesis follow a model or S-shaped growth curve. This means oil content does accumulate at a steady line rate is start slow, exploit rapidly during period, and eventually flat out as the fruit matures. If estate managed harvest too early, the oil density in the food mascota is too low, leading to poor extraction rate. But if they harvest too late, the food or repeats, leading to high free fatty acid contamination, which severely degrades the oil quality. The biological problem is the harvesting the food from the outside, thus giving us as an accurate pictures of what is happening cellularly on the site. Secondly, important of studying the bioscience problem. Why is studying is so important? Oil palm is cornerstone of agricultural economy, and optimizing it directly impact global food security and economy sustainably. By applying the first derivative fx to the lipid accumulation function, we can calculate the instantaneous rate of oil synthesis at any given week. Even more importantly, finding the mathematical point where the second derivative equals 0 fx identify the exact peak velocity of lipid biosynthesis. Studying this allows us to move away from traditional guesswork. It gives plantation management and data-driven toolkit to schedule harvest when the oil yield is at its absolute maximum, minimizing waste and If we look our interactive visual dashboard, we can dissect this biological into three distinct paragraphs. First point, if we click on the time between 10 to 40 weeks after anti-SNI WAA, we observe the lag phase. Here, the total communication oil content is very low and our detective X is near zero. Biological, this tells us that the plant is spending its energy on food, texture, structure, and expression rate than product oil. Harvesting here would result in a massive loss of yield. Second point, climation statistic peak. Moving forward on the graph, mathematically this is where our first fx receives the value can be velocity of it plus 20 oil content per week in the plant follicle is as happening as cell as we harvest photostimulus into the fatty acid surplus. To include the discrimination successful, demonstrated the mathematical framework of lipid kinetics, there is always room to make our digital tools better. Recommendation to improve the HTML dashboard is to add dynamic synchronization present and a file upload feature for real world estate data. Right now, you can manually adjust slide for variable like maximum oil content or slope. However, in the real world, this volatility is possible based on weather, soil quality, or different palm clone by allowing use to click a button to lock drought condition or hide it close alpha reason, or letting managers upload their own weak field data via STVL file. The HTML application would transfer from the theoretical classroom simulation into a high function predictors for precision agriculture. By making calculus spend precisely, we can unlock the full potential of agriculture resources. Thank you for your time.